And I just wanted to come on and go live and do chapter two because every week I said I was going to read just a little glimpse of the chapters as we build up. Right now, my book is currently being edited. I did write my book. I wrote my book. I wrote it like a diary, very brain hand to paper. I've shared this process. You know, I wrote it. But any book turning into a hard copy, needs like a proper edit. So it's currently being edited, and the woman's incredible. And she wrote me last night and she was like, I love this book. She's so excited to be working on it with me, and I'm so excited. And I'm planning like the book launch, and the whole process is so incredible. And I'm writing again as well. But I wrote an article on here that I posted. I've written two articles kind of inspired off of Breathe Miha, just, on motherhood and sexuality and all the things that really like matter to me. And, I'm very careful about writing about motherhood because of all the areas in which I feel I can be um, criticized or broken down by people's opinions. Motherhood is a really hard one for me, but I was so inspired by friends saying that writing about it is relatable. And even my best friend read the post and was like, I cried. And so I was like, okay, I'm supposed to write about these things. um so I felt really really good being able to do that. But I wanted to come on and open any questions, but also just read, a little bit of each week, a chapter that is up. For those of you who haven't read the book or have read it, it's like a revisit to it, but also you can listen to the book. You can listen to the chapters. So last week I read chapter one, just a tiny bit, just a little teaser. And here's chapter two. So chapter two was Teenage Girl Interrupted. I was 14, angry, and convinced I was Drew Barrymore. I was not. The events in this memoir are based solely on my own memories and personal perspective. Some names and identifying details have been changed to protect the privacy of the individuals. This is my story as I lived it and as I remember it. It is real, and it's raw, and it's me. Middle school was a big chapter for me. By the grace of God, or by my parents' money, I got into an Episcopalian school in Sierra Madre. My seventh grade class had only 12 kids in it. The school was affirming of same-sex couples, and the whole place was tiny but warm. I was not good at school, and my grades showed it, which was really hard on me. I'm pretty sure I was also the only one or two Mexican kids in the entire school. Junior high was rough. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was puberty, hormones, but I was different. I felt different. At home, I had my own room downstairs, my own bathroom, a back door, and a fireplace. Everyone else was upstairs. I watched a ton of movies and I became obsessed with pop culture magazines, 90s models, Drew Barrymore, independent films, and music. My parents never censored what I could watch or listen to. I had my own TV, I had my own phone line, and I was wildly independent at 13. My mom was so consumed with Nate and all of his issues, and I won't share anything out of respect for my brothers, but it was a hard year for him, and it never really stopped. Andy needed so much attention, and I didn't have any special needs, so I was largely left to myself. I don't remember school being a focus, and my parents never asked if I had homework. If I did have it, I don't remember them ever sitting down with me to help me with it. I got by as a C student at best. In hindsight, I should have not been allowed to watch all those movies that I did. I watched Mad Love with Drew Barrymore over and over and over so many times that I found myself cutting out eyes of magazines just like her character did. Girl Interrupted was also a constant repeat, and I became obsessed with being wild, different, and rule breaking. I was sexually curious. I couldn't care less about school, and I was always chasing some kind of rush. I felt highs, a burst of energies, and very low lows with depression. I became obsessed with being skinny, which led to an eating disorder, starving myself and making myself throw up. Every inch of my bedroom was covered in cutouts of celebrity models, fashions, and skinny everything and boy crushes. My mind was my biggest battle. I could not shut it off. Something switched in me when I crossed from being a normal kid into being a teenager. I got my period at 13. I was one of the first in my group to develop boobs. I looked older than my friends, and there was a sexual presence about me at a very young age. Overnight, men started giving me attention. It made me think about sex constantly. I became obsessed with love, and nothing else mattered. So that was chapter two. You can read, you can listen to the rest. Breathe Miha. my book that is up right now and soon will be in hard copy. I put my heart and soul into this. I was really raw and honest in hopes that, and I've felt that from everyone writing, that the people that were my age or went through this or felt any of this, that you're not alone. Um, Also, growing up in the time that we grew up was a weird time, and my childhood was a weird childhood, and it happened. All right, guys. Bye.